Well, it's confirmed we're in for a wet and wild summer. La Niña is here and we're already seeing the effects with much of the eastern seaboard waterlogged. Well, Dan Nolan breaks down what else we can expect.
It's this almost ungodly thing that's just transforming in front of us.
We've seen firsthand the devastation that weather events can have.
So we're busy, the days are long, the work's a lot harder.
Summer has arrived, but this year it's brought an extra guest. Her name, La Niña. It's a Spanish term meaning the girl and is caused by trade winds along the equator, drawing more moisture into the atmosphere. If you want to know what La Niña looks like, well, this is pretty much it. Bigger, heavier, more frequent rainfall, and it's coming at us all summer long. What do you think when you hear the term La Niña?
I think like a lot of people, the first word that comes to mind is wet.
Thomas Hinterdorfer is from Higgins Storm Chasing. He devotes his life to chasing wild weather, even all the way to Tornado Alley in the American Midwest. For someone who enjoys chasing storms, is La Niña an exciting time for you?
It can be. Certainly towards the start of the season this year, it was exciting.
Our farmers are happy too, free from the clutches of the drought-forming El Niño system and into its wetter sibling. But wherever there are winners, there'll be losers too.
Let's start with the losers. That's probably the people that we're looking forward to a nice and sunny summer. So that will not happen.
Dr. Nina Ridder is an expert on extreme weather events based at the University of New South Wales. She says it's not just beachgoers who might be sad this summer.
We will most likely see a lot more flash flooding, a lot more large-scale flooding this year due to this La Niña event.
It might be time to buy some gumboots if you don't already have them. Spring has already delivered flooding across parts of Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria too. Western Sydney had its devastating floods in March off the back of a La Niña summer last year. The bad news is that back-to-back La Niñas can be even worse.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a stronger La Niña. It doesn't have to be a longer-lived one. It's just the preload is already there for flooding to occur.
Another winner, lawnmower operators, even if it can be a tough slog with how quickly that grass grows.
Yep, so this lawn's actually 2 weeks, so 14 days today. And you can see it's really growing.
It's ready for another mow.
Absolutely, yep.
Pat Haggerty from Jim's Mowing in Brisbane says the phone has been running hot with people needing help containing their lawns.
Well, La Niña means that the mowing season starts early. It means that our workload basically doubles overnight with the rate of growth of the grass.
You're making the bucks, but you're working your butt off to get them.
Pretty much, yeah, spot on.
Insurers are also preparing for the worst, like what followed the La Niña-induced flood across Brisbane 10 years ago.
You might want to think about getting important documentations like birth certificates, wills, marriage certificates, and storing them in something waterproof.
Bernadette Norrie is from Suncorp Insurance and says now is the time to prepare.
And make sure you check your insurance to see that you're covered for storm and make sure that it's not out of date. And we also recommend that if you live in a flood area, make sure you know where high ground is and where your community's shelters and meeting points are.
Suncorp has also teamed up with the CSIRO to design a prototype for Australia's most resilient home.
Look, One House was intended as a conversation starter about homes and building standards and making sure they're constantly reviewed, given our environment is changing.
The testing covered fire, flood and cyclonic winds. There's a 65% chance of more tropical cyclones this summer, and they could pack a bigger punch.
But what will most likely happen is that these cyclones bring more rainfall.
Australia has already been experiencing wild weather even before La Niña arrived, with tornadoes forming down the eastern seaboard. Thomas Hinterdorfer usually has to travel halfway around the world in search of them. Yet this one formed at Brisbane Airport, about 10 kilometres from his house.
It was a bit of a weird sensation that it's just you don't see that in Australia. We're not used to seeing it. They have always happened in Australia.
We've also experienced a phenomenon called giant hail, with one storm that hit Mackay likely to nudge the world record.
The hailstones out of that were extraordinary, and I mean it's going to be labelled as some of the biggest hailstones in the world, not just Australia.
So before you whinge too much about a soggy summer, spare a thought for our brave emergency services out there trying to save people in such treacherous conditions. And take it easy on your local lawnmower guy too.
We've just got to ask people to be patient with us. We're doing our best and we'll get to you as soon as we can.